Testing, testing. This is only a test. Actually, this is the thing. This is the stream. Hello. Hi. Hi guys. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything Gucci? Huh? Eh? Huh? Hi. Hello. Hey, hey, hey. Hello everybody. What's up? Welcome to the stream, the first live vlog that I'm gonna be doing, hopefully every Saturday at 6 o'clock. So, hi. So this is hopefully the first of many. You guys can ask me any questions you want regarding voice acting or anything in general that you want me to talk about, or anything you want to talk about that has nothing to do with VO. Yeah, just gonna chill for a bit. Oh my gosh, there's already quite a bit of people here. Hello, everybody. Alrighty, so, to get right into the questions that people had, like 3 or 4 days ago, Eric LeBeau asked, were there any bombs or bloopers you left in the booth, either by accident or intentionally? Any particular funny ones or ones that were left for you? I goof sometimes in the booth. I had a couple of silly outtakes when I was doing Gundam Seed a couple of months ago, and there was one such outtake. I forgot what I said, but it fit the mouth flaps perfectly, and the audio engineer and the director, Kiernan, she actually fit it to the flaps even better, and she ended up saving that. I don't know if she ever did anything with it, but that was kind of fun. There's always stuff like that going on. And Marie's question was, why did you move to LA? The answer to that question is to pursue voiceover full-time, or as much as possible. So, yeah. Hashtag goof in the booth. How did I get into voice acting, and what was my first gig? Well, I did theater when I was a little kid, so I already had a little bit of experience in acting. And voice acting was this thing that you knew it existed, but you didn't know anything about it. So I remember playing video games on the Sega Genesis as a little kid, and like, I remember playing fighting games like Street Fighter and Fatal Fury and stuff, and the characters would have voices, and that fascinated me as a kid. So, I got in touch with somebody who was doing a video game, because I have a lot of game developer friends as someone who plays a lot of games. And he was like, hey, we need some voices for a video game. You do acting. Do you want to do a couple of voices? I said, oh, okay, sure. And I think that game was... I know the second game I ever did was Brigade E5 New Jagged Union. And that was something on an old voice acting message board that I used to frequent as a kid. I honestly can't remember the first game I did. I forgot what it was called, but it was just like 2D, kind of like a... It's like a turn-based strategy game, and it was like medieval-based or something. And I voiced like the peasants and the gladiators and stuff. So that was my first time doing a game, and then I got the part, I got a couple of roles in Brigade E5, which is this PC game that was made famous in Russia. And they decided to bring it over to the United States back in 2005, I think. And that's when I, you know, did it for like a second time and said, hey, this is kind of fun, this is kind of neat, I kind of want to do this as my full-time job. So I did a lot of reading, a lot of searching on the intertubes, and I found that, you know, there were, at the time, decent pay-to-play sites that, you know, you'd purchase a subscription and you would get sent auditions. It's kind of like an online agent, if you will, only none of the protection that an agent would give you. So it was pretty much pay to play and play at your own risk, or work at your own risk. So shortly after I did those games, I did a I did a few commercials. I remember I did like an Audi commercial, Volkswagen, Coca-Cola, and I was always just playing the teenage boy. That was all I was playing, but everybody was like, "You have the perfect voice for that." I'm like, "You think so? Yeah, you think this is something I can keep doing?" So I started doing commercials. I started to do more games, and it wasn't until I got an agent in, I think, 2007 or 8 is when I realized that this is absolutely what I want to do. So it's been about 10 years since I decided to really just make this my thing. Yeah, Fatal Fury. Yeah, King of Fighters. I don't know if they're gonna include any of the Gundam Seed bloopers, the outtakes. There were quite a few. Some of them were pretty much just me going, okay, so the way it works is before every line you have 3 beeps to tell you when you're gonna speak. You speak on the 4th beep that's not there, so it goes beep, 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 and then you do the line on the 4th invisible beep. So my outtakes, I'm sure Carrie has about 30 minutes of me just going beep, 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 shit. Because like a line would change on the fly, or it didn't update yet, or I would just, just misread something, and that would be entirely my fault. But there's a lot of those where I'm just like, shit, one more time. And I would get it right the next time, but that happens to everybody. But yeah. Let's see. Did I watch the Tome 6th anniversary video? Asks Marie. I did not yet. I lived it. Yeah. I didn't watch it yet, but I do want to revisit that. So that will be a fun thing to do. Did you watch it yet? Hello, everybody. Carl, Calabac, Smallbean, Sharka Frank, Toon. Why do I have such beautiful green hair? Going back to Gundam, I play Nicola Malfi in Gundam Seed, which is this guy right here, this kid. I know you can't really see him very well, but yeah. So this kid is a really awesome kid. I don't want to spoil anything, but he is a Gundam pilot in Gundam Seed. And yeah, to celebrate me getting that role, I dyed my hair green because it was super cool. I wanted to... This is something that I decided to do once I moved here because I knew that I would be doing more anime, is I wanted to dye my hair the colors of the characters that I play, my character's hair color. So, for example, in Mob Psycho 100, I play Sho Suzuki. He has like spiked orange reddish hair. And I thought maybe I'll just dye my hair like orangey red when the Blu-ray comes out, and we'll celebrate that. And but I would have to spike it. And I thought, well, I don't really want to do it unless I can actually really do it really well, you know? I don't want to half-ass it, so to speak. So when I got the part in Gundam, I went in to record, and I remember the first thing that that my director and the producer of Gundam Seed told me was, "You look just like your character if your hair were just green." And I'm like, oh, hey, wait a minute, light bulb, I wanted to dye my hair anyway, so I gave it a try, and here I am. I'm a huge nerd, and I regret nothing. Nicole is best boy in Gundam Seed. I agree. Although Athrun is quite nice. I do like me some Athrun. I wish Chris Hackney were here. No news on the Zaf suit yet. I know that it's still in China. That's as much as I know. For you guys who don't know, I was told, well, Zaft is the team that my character in Gundam is part of, and yes, Asaran. And I ordered a Zaft suit. So let me back up a little bit. I don't cosplay. I've never cosplayed before, but my friend Billy showed me this Zaft outfit that you can order, and it was only about $80 or so. To me, I think that's cheap. I don't know much about cosplay and the price of cosplay, but I do know that a lot of my friends who do cosplay spend like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and for some people it's into the thousands. So to spend $80 on something like this is super super cheap. So a couple of fans, because I'm like, I can't just buy this on a whim, and fans donated because I set up this thing. And I'm like, no one's gonna ever actually donate, but let's see what happens. It kind of started out as a joke, and woke up one morning to find out that, hey, people have donated, and uh-oh, I'm probably gonna have to cosplay. So in the event that I do, which I now have to, it's on the way, I hit up my friend Kira Buckland, who is also a super awesome voice actor. I've known her since 2005 or 6. And she cosplays like crazy. That's just what she does. So I asked her, I'm like, hey, Kira, how's it going? Out of the blue, I'm going to be cosplaying. Can you help me with this? Can I come over and can we do measurements and stuff? Because I have no idea about any of this stuff. And she's like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. So I went over her place, we did measurements, and I ordered the outfit. And it should be here within a week, another week or so. I ordered it on my birthday a few weeks ago now. So, let's see. Oh, she's a fantastic cosplayer, yes. Kira is phenomenal. She really gets the characters down to a T, and she doesn't half-ass stuff. And now she has the budget to be able to really just, like, go all out with it. Like, if there's something that's not right, she'll order another one and just be like, okay, I like this one better. I'm going to go with this one. And it's pretty cool that she's able to do that. So what better person to turn to than Kira? Yes, Ash, you do need to dye your hair blue for the donation. I didn't expect that to actually get funded. But it did, so I'm going to be cosplaying. Yay! Apologies in advance. Carl Johnson asks, besides Red Dead Redemption, what other Rockstar games would you have loved to be a part of? So I got to do Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare, but one Rockstar game I would have really loved to have been a part of is L.A. Noire, just because of how unique it is. If I had been able to do the motion capture, the facial cap, and really capture performance using the hardware and the tech that they had for that game, I mean, that was amazing stuff. I would have loved that more than anything. That would have been fun. Oh, absolutely, Shark Frank and Ethan. Yes, Athrun is much better than Kira. Kira from Gundam, not Kira Buckland. But yes, Athrun, and Izak, and Dirka. I love those boys. They're so cute. Okay, real talk. When I was a kid, and I was exposed to Gundam Seed when I was like 14, I had a minor crush on Athrun and Izak. Moving on. Let's see. Any other questions? Questions that I can actually answer. There's some questions in the chat that I cannot even touch with the 10-foot barge pole. Yeah, I never finished L.A. Noire either. I came pretty close, I think. And I never got to finish it, which kind of sucks. Do I still do music? I do. As you can see behind me, I have the box for my piano. I had to put it back in the box, but I bought a digital piano since I can't play the drums here. I grew up playing the drums and piano, and I've been in LA for about a year. So I haven't been able to play any instruments, so I bought a piano, and I'm able to be musical again, which is a blessing because it's a great way to de-stress and just stay sane. It's just playing music. I don't really record a lot of music, but I do play music, and I sing to myself a lot. So be glad that you don't have to hear that. L.A. Noire Remaster is coming, and I don't think I'll be buying that because I just can't afford to buy any more games. Atherin or Izak? Oh, Atherin, of course, but Izak is a close second. Any PS4 game recommendations? There's a few games that I can recommend that I'm in, but as far as other games that I'm not in, that I'm actually familiar with, gosh, I don't have as much time to play games as I used to, but I still like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 from time to time. And Gundam Versus is a lot of fun on PS4. I've pretty much just been playing Gundam Versus and Grand Theft Auto, and now I'm playing, let's see. We got Gundam Versus here, and this one that just came out, Need for Speed Payback, is pretty fun. So I'm dabbling in this game too a little bit. Are there any established video game characters you'd like to be the next voice actor for? There's one game I really wanted to be the voice of. There's one game, a character. Jeez, there's one character in a game that I really wanted to be the voice of. And that was Zidane Tribal from Final Fantasy IX. But that role ultimately went to Bryce Papenbrook when they decided to put him in Final Fantasy Dissidia. So, props to him. He's awesome. Bryce is fantastic. So, he did a really good job. And the Japanese counterpart was Rami Park, who also voices Nicole. And another character that I played before. So that's quite nice to at least have, had a degree of his voice actor, so to speak. Hashtag Casey for the next Zelda. Hello. Would I like to work with Troy Baker? Sure. He's really good. I don't know him personally, but I've heard him in enough video games to know that he's just phenomenal, and he'd probably be a lot of fun to watch, and a privilege to work alongside of. My most recent voice jobs, they're pretty cool. I can't wait to talk about them, but I can't say anything yet. But there's a few games I got to work on that are massive, so I'm really, really excited to one day, hopefully soon, be able to talk about them. But for now, I'll just say that I did some games, and I think that they did go pretty well, all things considered. Do I like gorillas? Of course. Would I work with Stephen Ogg? Stephen Ogg. Abso-freaking-lutely. That man is insane. In a good way. He's a very intimidating dude. Yeah, he's a funny dude. He's super talented. It would be fun to work alongside him, for sure. If I can create a game that's a combination of two things I love, what would it be? Currently, I'd like to see... I would like to see a Gundam Grand Theft Auto mix. So if you can have the open world space and the types of missions, but in a Gundam, that would be amazing! You kidding me? That helps for your second question. If I had the chance to voice 2D, would I? Yeah, I would voice 2D. I think my balls would have to drop a little bit more first before I did, but sure. That'd be awesome. There's a good question. Shocky D. Shock Dingo, what's up, dude? What's my favorite medium to voice in? Games, animated shows, etc. I really love doing video games. Video games was my first passion as a kid, or at least next to music. So my life has been pretty much video games, music, and voice acting up until this point. So there's something really oddly rewarding about doing video games, but having done some anime this year, and having done my first anime shows in 2013, I got a taste for what it's like, and it is a lot of fun because it's just such a unique medium that I never thought that I would be doing, because I started in original animation and commercials and video games, and anime is the thing that I've done last. Usually people will start off in voice acting going straight to anime and then branching out once they find out that this is something that they want to do. Once they get a little bit of experience, that's when you move up a little bit and you do some video games, and you can, snatch yourself a good agent, and usually that's how it works. Mine was all over the map because I started out in New York, in Connecticut and New York, so my career took off a little bit differently than most people's around here, I think, because of my location. I wasn't really exposed to the typical rates, the typical wages of an actor over here, because they're able to just charge whatever for on pay-to-play sites and in certain studios in New York. I come here and there's a set rate for everything that everybody follows. That blew my mind. It's like, oh, that's nice. That means I don't have to remember individual invoices for each job I did. A 2D fighting game where Gundams fight Evangelions, Geek of Time says. Let's see, I think I missed a couple of questions. Let me scroll up a little bit. Oh, no problem, dude. Absolutely. Hey, that's why I'm here. This is kind of cool. I like connecting with peeps and chatting and answering questions. Questions that I never really get to answer, because people ask me questions on Twitter or only, I guess, conventions and stuff like that. And I don't really go to a whole lot of conventions right now. So this is the next best thing to just meeting fans and hanging out with fans and at least kind of chilling with fans. I like it. It's fun. What is my least favorite character to voice? You guys might hate me for this. My least favorite character that I've ever had to voice... okay, maybe not ever had to voice, but one of my least favorites is probably Game Crazed in the original tome style, or at least 2011 tome, because when Chris Niozzi, who is the creator of the show, when he created Tome, I thought I was going to get a part for, like, maybe I thought I was going to get the part of Nylok, or just some other, maybe a minor character that's more in my range. Where Game Crazed was so deep, I had to really force my voice in a really lower register, which was not only really uncomfortable for me to do physically, but also as somebody who identifies more on the female side, it's really, really uncomfortable having what is more or less the most booming voice that you can create coming out of your mouth. So I love the character to death, don't get me wrong. Game Crazed as a character is definitely one of my favorites of all time, and probably will never be replaced because that's such a special role to me. But just doing the voice itself was hell for me at first. Because as someone with a really normally, like, naturally high voice, it did not come very easy at all to me. Not to mention, I didn't even really know where the character was going. So I was just told to do a really, deep, not sinister, but deep, shadowy kind of voice. And that was, like, my only first direction that I got. So I can't even really do that voice anymore because it's so hard for me to do, and I didn't keep with that lower pitch. So I'm stuck voicing higher characters, which is fine, because that's just what I do. Will I play the Pocky game? Will I play the Pocky game with Chris? I would absolutely do that. Yes. Geek of Time. The first time I was even like able to do things like, yeah, the first time I was like starting to do transition stuff was like, yeah, I think it was 2013, and Tome started in 2011, November 11th, 2011. Today, actually, exactly today. It was exactly 6 years ago that Tome started. So hey, happy 6th birthday, Tome. I can't believe you're already 6. Your mother would be so proud had she not been Curb. um, let's see. What's a country that I would love to visit? I would absolutely 110% love to visit Japan. I don't speak Japanese. I don't really know much Japanese at all. I know just a little tiny bit. So if I were to go there, I need to take a friend with me that speaks Japanese, or at least knows a lot of Japanese, or some rather, just to get by, because I don't want to go to a country and not have any idea what I'm doing. I worked with a couple of people on a game, and one of the not producers but like assistant directors was living in Japan, and he's like, if you ever come to Japan, because I told him how bad I want to go to Japan, especially after seeing the Gundam Cafe and how awesome that is. It's so cool, and it'd be so neat to go there. But there's so much cool stuff in Japan, and so many like amazing like sights to see. And he was like, well, if you ever come, hit me up, and I'll take you around. If you ever go to Tokyo, I'm like, okay, sure. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Have a good night, The Life Glitcher. Thanks for watching. I've only been recognized a few times. Oddly enough, I've been recognized the most times at 7-Elevens. I don't know what that says about me, but there's been, I think, 3 occasions just this year where I've been stopped, and they're like, "You're Casey, right?" I'm like, maybe? Who wants to know? Because I'm still not used to that. So it's because I'm not a film actor, really. I've done some film, but I'm not a film actor. So people don't typically see my face. They just hear my voice. So when somebody is able to point me out of a crowd without me even saying anything, it is a little strange. It catches me off guard. If I were to add anything I want to any Fallout game, what would it be, and what game? Let's see. I would want to add Gundams. Okay, closest thing to Gundam is Liberty Prime. So, if I can play as Liberty Prime, I'd be sound as a pound. Throw Liberty Prime as a playable unit in Fallout 4, and I would go back to playing that game for sure. Quick, someone draw Curb and GameSoft doing the Pocky game for Pocky Day. Oh, it is Pocky Day today! Oh, I want Pocky! Oh. Why didn't I get some when I was out? Stupid me! Yes, I have been asked for my autograph a couple times. I don't know what to do in that situation because I don't normally have something to write with me, so now I do. I carry around a Sharpie just in case, because it's happened a few times this year as well. And also when I go to conventions, people will catch me off guard. People recognize me at E3, which I didn't expect. People recognize me at Anime Expo, which is fine because I do voice acting for games and anime, so that's normal. But in E3 I really didn't expect that, because it was I was under the impression that it would be mostly industry professionals showing up, but there were a lot of cosplayers and random fans that again picked me out of the crowd as I was walking by, and they're like, "Can I get a selfie with you?" Like, oh god, okay, sure. Like, only reason I say oh god is because I look hideous, and I look even worse in other people's selfies. I just go like, I have like the worst looking faces. Do I think, Two Wings asks, do I think the next GTA game should have a playable female character? It would be cool to see, but only if it fits the narrative. Only if it fits in what they're actually trying to tell us with the story. You know what I mean? Like, don't do it just for the sake of it. But if you had to do it, then make her badass like Catalina in GTA 3. Yeah, she was cool. Sucks that she turned out to be bad, but... eh. I played Buster Gundam because I spent $5 for that just to get Dirka and Gundam Versus. So you bet your butt I played that. I use that Gundam a lot. I used was it Z Gundam or what was the overpowered version of it? I tried that out and I hated it because it was too easy. I'm so used to playing as Blitz, playing as Nicola Malfi and Blitz, and I'm just so used to the way it maneuvers since the demo, since the trial. And it was a little strange to switch to something that is twice as powerful, twice as fast, and has like 5 times as much stamina as Blitz, where Blitz is meant to be the one that's fast and stealthy and not so much powerful. I feel that Blitz is very nerfed. But, yeah. My favorite Pokemon is probably Vaporeon. Now, don't hate me, but I don't know much about Pokemon at all. I've never played a Pokemon game except for Pokemon Snap. I have only played a little bit of Pokemon Snap when I rented it. I brought it back like the same day because I didn't like it. I was a little kid, and I played a little bit of Pokemon Go this year. I wasn't huge into it, but it was okay. It was kind of fun, but it ate all my bandwidth. So I couldn't really play it for a long period of time. Yeah, the Sho Suzuki cosplayers at Anime Expo were phenomenal, by the way. Shout out to all the Mob Psycho fans out there. And everybody who made the fan meetup for Mob Psycho 100. That was a lot of fun, man. That is why I go to conventions, because that was magical. Just, oh, it's just such a cool, super fun, awesome, down-to-earth experience with everybody there. Everybody's just hanging out, chatting Mob Psycho, and it's such a fun thing to do. It's me, Chris Niozzi. Unfortunately, Kyle McCarley couldn't be there, but I did call him, and I put him on. So the crowd of fans, I was like, hey, everyone say hi to Mob, and everyone was like, hi, Mob. It was so cute. It was cute. And stuff like that are the moments that I really love at conventions. That is the sole reason that I like to go to conventions, because of the experience. Experiences like that specifically. Yeah, Curb did put up a couple of videos. It was pretty neat. I know he recorded... no, I'm sorry. I think I filmed it. Yes, he had me film something. Him and the entire crowd saying, we want Mob Psycho on Toonami. So here's hoping that somebody will listen and put it on Toonami, Cartoon Network. I hope Japan, I hope whoever does the toys for Mob Psycho in Japan makes a show figurine. There's already pins and keychains. Let's see if I can grab some, because I think I have some in here. Yes, I have some pins here. And I've still got these from Anime Expo, from the guys at Crunchyroll gave this to us, because Mob Psycho is published, so to speak. It's produced by Crunchyroll, so got some Mob Psycho wristband, and of course Sho Suzuki is not on here. Of course he's not on there. Why would he be? And there's some cool pins as well, featuring Mob, Teru, Dompel, and Possessed Ritsu. You can't really see it because the lighting, but yeah, it's super cool. And I didn't even open these things because they're just too cool. And if I did put them anywhere, I would lose them instantly. So what fun is that? The only Studio Ghibli movie I've ever seen was Ponyo, and my boyfriend at the time wanted to see it with me, so we went. And I've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie before. That was the first one, and that was such a good movie. It was so well done. It was so cute. Oh my god, I was dying the whole time in a good way. Oh, DeMarco did say something about that. They said they can't do Mob, but hopefully they can do it in the future. Oh, I didn't even know that. Well, maybe someday, right? Hey, at least the Blu-ray is coming out in less than a month, so if you haven't seen it yet, that was a good chance to pick it up and familiarize yourself with it. Strap in, strap on. It's going to be a hell of a ride. Would I ever consider playing Portal 2? Um, hold that thought. One moment. Hold on now. I've got it somewhere. Well, believe me when I say that I have it somewhere. Oh, somebody's at the door. Hold on. Well, that was interesting. Um, that was a neighbor who saw me through the window, and her daughter wants to meet me. The woman's name was Karen. I don't know if you guys heard any of that, but and her daughter's name is Nicole. So I'm probably gonna head over there and say hi. She's like, she sees you producing and wants to meet you. I'm like, okay, cool. Neat. That was different. Yeah. So, goodness gracious. That was very different. Did not expect that. Oh, and I found out that an engineer who I've worked with lives in the same complex as me because he got a piece of mail that was mine. And he was like, is this yours? How the hell did it end up here? And I'm like, wait, how did it end up in your address? But they just forgot to put my unit number down, and he just saw it sitting there, and it happened to have been my driver's license. So I'm glad that didn't fall into the wrong hands. I'm glad that he saw it and was like, hey, come pick it up at the studio. I'm like, oh, geez, okay, cool. Thank goodness. Come drive all the way to the studio without a license to pick up your license. But yeah. Yay! So you guys have any more questions for moi? We'll be going for 38 minutes now, and probably cap it at about an hour. Or I could end it a little bit early if we run dry in questions. Excuse me, do I go clubbing? Not really. There's this one club I used to go to, and I met a really cute guy from there. I used to go clubbing and specifically just to like do karaoke and see this one guy like every Wednesday for like 3 months. But yeah, since I moved here, I think I've only been to a club one time. I went to a bar once with Kira because we were doing some David Bowie covers. So it was karaoke night and we were just singing some David Bowie and any Nintendo characters I would like to voice. Um, Nintendo characters. I mean, the obvious one is Link. Link from Legend of Zelda. That would be amazing. I voiced Link in a lot of, like, web cartoons back in 2007. There was one by Artist Gamer Girl. She went by. Her name was my God, I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart here. Oh my goodness, I don't want to say the name because it's probably wrong. But she just went by AGG. And she did a bunch of Legend of Zelda cartoons. There's one specifically that I did called Link and the Pig. So if you guys search that on YouTube after this stream, you'll find that. And that's something I did in 2007 or so. It was fun. Oh, okay. Geek of Time. This is something I actually wanted to do. I told Kira this, like, earlier this year, too, like, when I first moved here. My, like, goal in life is to play Space Oddity on the piano and sing it in space, in zero gravity. I've been in zero gravity before. It's pretty fun. So, absolutely. That would be a lot of fun. So, hashtag, zero Godity. Any tips to start voice acting? Asking for a friend. If you're just starting out, I recommend just taking voice classes or acting classes. You already know how to talk, so you're halfway there. Now you just have to take acting classes and hone your skills and see what you're capable of doing and see what you need to improve on. Can I sing in Nicole's voice? Every time I sing, pretty much, because Nicole's voice is pretty much my own, so I don't really have to do anything crazy for that voice. Thankfully. Cuphead looks super, super cool. I have not played it yet, but I would like to. It's very unique, but I hear it's hard as hell. So I'll probably pick it up eventually when I have more time. Would I do a collab with a YouTuber? I don't really know any YouTubers, to be honest, because I'm actually not a YouTuber. I just have a channel, and I like to just mess around and upload game videos, but I'm not a YouTuber by any means. So I don't really know anybody from that community. So, let's see. Have I ever done anything in real life that's been similar to a character I've played? I guess the closest thing, is probably, Nicole Amalfi, who plays the piano, and, so I was able to just kind of like jump right on that and go, oh, cool, he plays the piano, this is totally me. And as I got to actually play the character and understand the character, I saw that he's pretty much like me. He's very timid. He's pretty reserved. Seems a little bit shy. He's not as rowdy as the rest of the Zaft boys. So he's the more, I guess you can say, meek of the group, which is very mirroring of my youth and current day, I guess. Can I sing my favorite song? I can, and I do all the time. But I will not do it here because I don't want to get a copyright strike, because YouTube is terrible when it comes to stuff like that. Yes, other than the hair. Yes, the green hair is quite nice. It's very curly. I apologize. I didn't do it today. I just got out of the shower and was like, I'll just let it go. So I put a hat on just so I don't have to worry about the curls. You have to pay extra for that, yeah. Yeah, they want you to buy YouTube Red to have the ability to listen to people singing. Am I shy? I am very shy. I am pretty much an introvert who had to learn to be sort of extroverted. And that's something that Curb was very surprised at when I told him, he's like, I'm like, are you introverted or extroverted? Because I know he's a huge nerd like me, but he's much, much more extroverted as me. Um, I like to stay indoors and play the piano and play video games and just kind of, you know, maybe read or something, and then just I like to relax and just, you know, that's how I unwind. Um, but then again, part of me always wants to be outside. So I guess I'm kind of an extroverted introvert, I guess. Because you have to be extroverted in this business. I mean, because you got to go to studios, you got to meet people, you can't just be living under your rock that, you know, that I was living under for most of my life. Um, but, oh, thank you guys. Yay. Yay. I'm glad that my hair looks good to you guys, despite it being absolutely a mess. Uh, I have not played it, but I plan to in the future. Wink, wink. Um, I have not played Fortnite yet, no. We have about 15 minutes left. If you guys want to ask any more questions, I will bang out as many as I possibly can. I would like to eventually get like other people to join me on these streams if they're successful, and I can have guests and stuff. Um, my hair is very wet. I'm sweating right now. It's like 95 degrees in here. If they ever build a, let's see, if they ever build a life-size replica of Blitz Gundam and it has a cockpit you can get inside of, would I hop inside? Oh my god, yes! I would live in that thing. I would never leave it. Like, this is my home. Sorry guys, I live here now. Like, that's right. Sorry peeps, this is my home. Get out of my house. Have I been able to avoid spoilers for stuff I've been in? Nope. I do sometimes try. I know that it's more important to actually understand what's going on. So, I will know as much as I need to know. But once I'm done recording for something, and if I see somebody talking about said project or said game that I've worked on, I will try my best not to learn too much about it. Because excuse me, I do try to, excuse me again. I do try to avoid spoilers, because I am a huge fan of a lot of games, and if I happen to do a voice in a game that I'm a huge fan of, in a series that I'm a big fan of, then I do want to experience it for the first time as if I'm still a fan, so, even though I'm in the game. What is my favorite song? I have a lot of favorite songs. It kind of just depends on my mood, I guess. I go back and forth between like a lot of classic rock and classic rock with like, or modern rock and classic rock with like pianos and stuff. So Billy Joel, Elton John, even Paul McCartney, stuff like that has always been my like, yes, perfect. But I do listen to a lot of modern stuff too. Just not as much as I probably should, not as much as I used to. The most modern stuff I listen to is probably stuff from the 90s and early 2000s, because there's, like, as far as a lot of modern music, I hear it enough on the radio, because they play the same 3 songs over and over. So, I mean, when that happens, I don't want to go home and listen to those same songs that I've been hearing all day, you know what I mean? Turn the Gundam into my home studio. If I can turn Blitz into my home studio, I would. Hold on, wait. I have a model kit that I have to put together. And it's this. If you can see it. This is the high grade Gundam Seed Blitz Gundam, which is GAT X207, because you really needed to know that. Chris got this for me, not Hackney, but Neozy. Got this for me when he was in Little Tokyo a couple of months ago. And I am hopefully going to be building this with Chris Hackney, who voices Atherin. So hopefully, if not this week, or I'm sorry, not this weekend, so it's probably going to be next weekend, we're going to hang out, and maybe we'll have some time and we'll put this together. Yeah. Look at that heckin' good boy. God, you can't see anything on this camera. Apologies for that. Yes, Nicole is best boy. I watched Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Wing, and Gundam Seed back when I was about 13, 14, and 15, respectively. So, it's been a long while since I've seen them back in the old days, so I don't really remember a lot of it. I want to watch more Gundam, but I don't really have access to Gundam right now. So hopefully when the new Blu-rays are all out, I can just pick them all up and binge watch them. That'd be fun. If I could ask something to the CEO of YouTube, what would it be? And and why would it be? How many of her videos are demonetized? If I could say anything to the CEO, I would say, what are you thinking? Enough is enough, man. That's it. That's all I would say to them. I'm sure this video is going to get demonetized. There's nothing I can do about it. I would live stream us building the Blitz. I don't know if anyone would be interested in that, but if you would be, tweet Chris Hackney. Seriously, tweet Chris Hackney and say, I want to watch you and Casey build the Blitz on live stream. I'm sure if he sees enough people asking him to do it, I'm sure he would do it. Hackney is wonderful. I love that boy. He is a good boy. Oh yeah, I mean, I love when people draw Nicole. Absolutely, yeah. If you want to draw Nicole, tweet it to me, and I'll probably retweet it, because I usually retweet stuff like that, because it's so good. It always makes me feel so happy. Yeah, IBO is out on Blu-ray already, yes, and so is let's see, it was, there's an ad for it, right, in Gundam Versus. It says, okay, so it's the Gundam Wing, fall 2017, so I think it's, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's already out. Yay! Huzzah! So, I gotta get on that once I get some more Gundam monies. Ash in the chat just linked to Chris Hackney's Twitter account. Once again, Chris Hackney voices Atherin Zala in Gundam Seed in the new dub, and he's a wonderful, wonderful dude in real life. If you guys want to tweet him and tell him that you want to watch us build the Blitz live, I'm sure he'd come over and do it. Or I would go there and do it, whichever. If I were to meet the characters I've voiced, or if I were to voice the if I were to meet the characters I voiced in real life, would I get on with them? I mean, like, would I get along with them? I'm sure I would. Well, me and Nicole would be, like, pretty much clones, and I think Sho Suzuki and I would just be memeing back and forth. It would be a meme war that I would probably lose. So, yeah. Yes! Hamster love! I love hamsters. They are so cute. I have such a soft spot for animals, especially like hamsters and dogs are like the main two. Um, yeah, I used to have hamsters as a kid, and it was the greatest thing in the world. My little hams. Roxy and Cookie were their names. They were so freaking cute. I wanted to get more, but I was so sad when they were gone. So I never got other hamsters because I know the lifespan is like way too short. I get way too sad too fast. If the opportunity was presented to you, would you voice someone in JoJo? Yeah. I know enough about JoJo now thanks to Kira. So, yeah, I love all the classic rock references in JoJo's. So it would be an honor to be a part of JoJo's just because of all of the really bizarre bizarre references and obscure references that they've managed to put in. I didn't know any of them until Kira was like, "Oh, you listen to REO Speedwagon. There's an there's a Speedwagon stand or something like that." You know what I mean? I don't know much about the show, but I know enough to know what it's like and what it's about. And it's just really bizarre, but just because of the references, I would like to do it. The art style is so bizarre in that show. Again, I'm not trying to be ha ha ha, look at me making it funny. It's just a really bizarre it's a really bizarre art style that is really unique. What is my opinion on Undertale? If I had my piano hooked up right now, it's in the box. I wish I had it because I would play an Undertale like medley real quick. But yes, I don't like the game so much. It just didn't really click much with me. But the music in the game is awesome. The music in the game is fantastic, and I listen to it all the time. And I always, when I'm just freestyling on the piano, I always just end up playing Megalovania or the main theme or something like that. Yoichi from JoJo. Let's see who that character is. This character is... I'm not even sure if I'm looking at the right one, because there's like a bunch of different ones. But if it's the young dude with like the bluish silvery hair, then yeah, I would voice him. Yeah. The first thing I found on Google image search is something lewd. When I typed in the character name. Look at what you've done. Look what science has done. Blah. What is my favorite soundtrack from any game? Undertale is up there. But I think Grand Theft Auto Vice City is my favorite. For sure. Yeah. The soundtrack in that game was just godlike. And that game came out 15 years ago. Jeez. Holy crap. Yeah, it's been a long time. But that soundtrack was just phenomenal. And that's when I learned that I like Dee Dee's music. when it comes to original soundtrack, I love the Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 8 and 9 are probably my favorites in terms of score. Original score. All right, any last questions? Because we've hit an hour, and I'm going to be heading out to go see the neighbor who wanted to meet me, so I might stop over for a little bit and say hello. But thank you guys so much for being a part of this stream. I think this is kind of a success. This is a lot of fun. Yeah, I hope to do this at least once a week. Saturdays, 6 o'clock p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. And, yeah, hopefully I can get some guests on here and, you know. Make a habit of it, yo. Oh, would I ever like to play myself as a side character in Tomb Raider? Yeah. Casey Croft, baby, yeah. Yay, I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. Yay. Yay. All right, my lovely faces. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much for watching. And if you guys have any questions that you can't think of now, but they hit you a little bit later after the stream is done, leave a comment on this video. So it's going to be like stream tag. So leave a comment on this video once it's done, which is going to be in a couple minutes, and I will answer them next week. So see you guys later. Have a great night. Have a great evening, day, wherever you are in the world, and yeah, see you next week. Yeah. Hey.